would you please introduce yourself, our special guest?
Special guest.
Hey everybody, my name's Cameron. My character's name is Calicath, and it's a pleasure to be here. I was unfortunately late on the first episode. I wasn't late, I wasn't here at all, as a matter of fact. But, you know, things happen in life, we can't always be everywhere. But I'm here now, and that's what matters. To me, at least.
Thank you for joining us. I am also joined by my co-host, James, playing the character Onyx,
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Ah.
and the guest from
Jesus.
the previous episode who was not able to play in the events of episode 2, but I'm sure he has plenty of his own questions and comments about it from our first episode of this podcast, Domino Laverna.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello. So, Grayson, you want to hit him with some questions?
Yeah, let's handle this in chronological order from events of episode 1 to episode 2. So, tell us a little bit about your character, Calicath. Like, concept-wise, design-wise, how did you come up with the full character?
Well, believe it or not, the name Calicath came from, back in 2015, when I made what are they called? A Khajiit on Skyrim.
Oh yeah.
And I just randomly
That's
thought
awesome.
of the name Calicath, not related to the character at all in any
Mhm.
way. But when we started playing D&D just recently, the name came back in my head, and that's what I used.
Right.
But
isn't that a type of cat? Or is that like a
Calico.
Calico, yeah.
Calico is what you're thinking of.
Okay.
I also, conveniently at the same time, I've never heard the name Calicath before. I think the character in that Star Wars game, what is it called?
Knights of the
The
Old
Order
Republic?
one? No, the
The
Lost
latest one?
Order. What was it? Star Wars Fallen Order. That was it.
Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name is Cal. I think his full name was Calicath, which I started playing immediately after we did our first episode.
Oh, what a
Which-
coincidence.
Yeah, right. Kind of weirded me out a little bit.
Mhm.
But as far as the actual character, there's not a whole lot I can disclose.
Mhm.
But he's got like a desert wanderer style.
Mhm.
You know, he's got the long blonde hair, unrelated to my actual real life hair. That's also just a coincidence, believe it or not.
Oh yeah, sure. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Anyway, he's got the red eyes. Every single character I've ever had has always had red eyes. It doesn't matter who I'm playing; they've always got red eyes. We've been playing the Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt recently.
Mhm.
Since I unlocked the ability, I've had red eyes on every single character.
We love it. We love to hear it. Now,
But
me and Grayson, you might not know this, but me and Grayson have a counter for every time Calicat does something mysterious. It's at 4 right now.
Yeah, it's only gonna go up.
We expect to make a compilation in the future.
do you know like the list of what was mysterious, or is it just the counter?
Yeah, I think we can probably come up with what it was. I don't have them written down, but
Yeah, one of them is related to one of the questions that we'll get to.
yeah.
A couple of them.
A couple
in
of them,
fact.
actually, yeah.
And in fact, maybe all of them.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
Jesus!
for sure. We've also been doing a hidden counter, a poop counter, because canonically, one person has gone to the bathroom in this game.
Yeah.
And
Wow!
we hope that number goes up.
Yeah. I'm the first point.
Point number 1 goes to Grayson.
Yeah.
Whoever has the highest poop counter at the end of the series is going to be the victor.
Yeah. It doesn't matter the story, it doesn't matter how many characters
Yeah,
they go
no.
through. It's whoever poops the most.
That's going to be a great number to see at the end.
Oh,
I hope
for
it's exponentially high, like it's like incredibly high, just up there.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. A steaming pile of... Anyway, tell us about the bandage concept.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Why all these bandages and the magic item
Yeah,
your
an
character
infinite An
carries.
infinite spool of bandages.
Yeah, where did you get this idea from?
So, do you want me to tell you a part of where he got the bandages from, or where the idea came from first?
The idea first, and then the character aspect of it.
So the idea came from several sketches that I had done while I was working on the character. At this point, I'd already figured out like what I wanted him to, what race I wanted him to be, what class, all this good stuff, and it started coming together rather nicely. But I really thought about it, and I wanted him to be, mysterious. I wanted him to be hiding something 24/7, and I figured the best thing to hide would be himself. I thought it would make it
That's
a lot
fair.
more interesting if you could see less and less of him. It's gonna prompt questions exactly like this, like what's under there? What does he have to hide? And I thought that would make for a much more interesting concept story-wise as well.
For sure, for sure.
Indeed, you gave us a little bit of a hint of it with this ability that you showed off in the first episode during or after the bar fight.
When
You
the
attempted
bartender
to,
went down.
yeah, you removed some bandages from your hand, and I believe you said a symbol appeared on the back of your hand, and you were taking on some of the wounds. What all can you tell us about this
So,
interesting ability?
Mhm.
uh, as far as again, can't go too in depth with it,
Of
but
course,
Right,
of
right, right.
course.
um,
Mhm.
I can tell you it wasn't necessarily a symbol. It had depended entirely on what I would have rolled at the time, I believe. Uh, so the spell he was casting was, I believe it was Lay on Hands, was it?
Or healing hands, something like
Yeah,
that.
healing
Healing
hands,
Hands,
I
that was
think.
it. And in As Above, healing has no effect unless it heals over 10 HP, at least from spells.
Mm.
Well, unfortunately, I rolled below 10 HP. Seemingly, my magic didn't activate fully, and what appeared on my hands seemed like wounds, but they weren't. They were something else entirely.
Mm.
Uh, Types of appendages, if you will. I believe if I had
Appendages.
rollen above
Oh,
a, I believe if I had rollen above a 10, they would have appeared in greater detail. But unfortunately, I was unable to save the man.
Right, of course. And rest in peace, bartender.
yeah, yeah.
He will be missed, for sure.
And it's not
Another
like
important.
you won't be able to potentially use this ability again
Mhm.
at some point, right?
This is true. Yeah, it could be a recurring ability, although it will need to be significantly stronger before it has a place in As Above, because otherwise it's not going to do much good.
Right, right.
Although I
Right,
think an
right.
important detail to note at the same time was Calicath, I don't believe ever manually replaced the bandages, yet they still appeared on his hands again.
Mhm. Yeah, they
Yeah,
retightened themselves, almost.
yeah. An interesting control level of control you have over these bandages,
Maybe it's like Gara's sand, where they almost have a mind of their own.
like they're a part of them almost.
Yeah, like, uh, spoilers for Naruto, the love of a mother. Even though I like the One Tails idea better, but oh well, right?
Was this
Domin,
back in like season 1 Naruto? Is that what we're talking about?
before Shippuden,
Okay, yeah.
it was Gara's sand was controlled by his one-tailed fox, although they weren't called tailed beasts yet. And then
Gotcha.
later on in Shippuden, it was no, the sand was controlled by the chakra will of his dead mother, who's just been trying to protect him this whole time. And it's like, oh, that's kind of sweet, but also,
Typically less cool than a
yeah,
fox, but whatever.
yeah,
All
whatever.
right.
Okay, so can you tell us where did you get this infinite supply of bandages in game?
Uh, yeah. I think I could. Yeah, I think I can disclose that.
Hmm.
Um, I think it's of course, it's rather obvious that there's something underneath the bandages
Yeah, of
other than the man
course.
himself.
Mhm.
Uh, he actually used to be in an orphanage with a friend of his, and the lady there was, well, I guess I won't talk about her name. She might be in the story later,
Mhm.
but she had sent him on a quest. It
A
was a trial of
quest.
sorts to see if he could handle a present from her. and it was something that was supposed to put him on the right path, so to say. We went through this horrible, horrible dungeon. It was awful.
Mhm.
I mean, it was absolutely terrible. You ever had something physical been able to reach through your body and grip at your organs?
Yeah,
Ouch.
for sure. I
It's not a not
I've
a
been there.
not a cool not a cool thing. That is, no. And as a matter of fact, it was uh at that time before I had the bandages that I have now. He was still wearing something to cover his body,
Mhm.
and he had to remove that as well. And it was actually Justin who got the very first glimpse of what that was. Of course, he's not gonna say anything about it.
Right.
Uh,
We've
but
heard it's horrifying, and we're very excited.
but after the quest was said and done, she's the one that presented him with a spool of magic blocking bandages.
They're magical blocking bandages.
Yes, and it's
Mm.
not not necessarily to keep something in. Believe it or not, it's to keep things. It's magic from the or magic blocking from the outside.
Okay, so it
Okay,
ward things
It's a
from
weird concept to
affecting you.
describe without having an example.
yeah. I think I could think of a few, but just to be vague, I won't throw any on the podcast. But my mind would immediately go to like outside beings who want to get in.
Hmm.
Something
That's
like
fair
that.
enough.
Yeah, like the acting like those Japanese like paper seals to ward off
Ghosts,
the
Oh
fiends
yeah,
or ghosts.
or like tinfoil with aliens in
Yeah, yeah,
in most of
5G.
those movies.
he's just a conspiracy theorist.
uh,
At the end of the day, he's
yeah.
just a crazy
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. Also, another interesting aspect introduced in the first episode with your character was they're an artist, and not just any artist.
A talented
A,
artist.
a caricature artist.
Yeah.
That is true, and there's a very specific reason for that. That unfortunately I didn't get to play out, but that is purely my fault. Because of a lack of time. I came up with the concept too late. My original plan was to have my character be observing the group or anyone who was available in the actual tavern, and I would have real caricature images that I've drawn for the D&D of everyone's characters.
That
Ah,
would be
Although
awesome.
I was far too late to the party, and I was only able to partially do one, and that was of Astrid.
Okay.
neat.
That would have
He
been.
looks like a very exaggerated Kratos with a much shinier head.
Mhm. That is pretty funny. Now, we can't talk about your character, Vincent, without discussing some things with Domino here. Matthew,
Oh man.
you weren't in the second episode, but you saw it, right?
I about stopped an hour in because I ran out of time. But
But you
I got
saw.
to the part. I got to the part where everyone was talking about what happened at the bar, and I stopped there.
Yeah, so it might be like 10 minutes ahead of where you left off, but
Oh, that's unfortunate.
they throw you under the bus pretty hard.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm at that part. I'm at that part.
Okay,
Domino has
okay.
to lay low.
Yeah. You're gonna have to
yeah,
change
not
your
just
name.
It's
not
funny
just
because
you, unfortunately.
I remember him saying that he knew of me before you mentioned anything. So yikes.
Yeah. When you applied to be a world famous criminal, I maybe you weren't expecting that, but
Yeah, I wasn't expecting
people
to be recognized so much.
people know
So
you apparently, and
actually, with Domino's backstory, he wanted to be famous, but instead he became infamous. So
Oh
he
yeah,
is famous, but it's not for good thing.
not for
yeah.
good
Maybe
things.
and maybe sooner or later we'll find out what exactly those things are.
Right, right.
Maybe.
Those I have this headcanon. Like, you know, Onyx and Domino have been traveling for a while, and they've talked too. But I just like to imagine that before the bar fight, it's like, oh, hey, there's my friend Domino. Hey, Domino. And then after the bar fight, it's like, oh, oh no, that's who I've been hanging out with.
Oh.
Oh yeah. And from this point on, it seems like things are only like getting more and more difficult for Domino.
Yeah, for sure. Um, we, I will say that Onyx probably doesn't think you're super guilty. Um, after some
Yet.
after some of the conversations we've had, uh, Onyx might have the impression that that was an accidental outburst of magic, but depending on what happens in the future, he could be more or less confident about that. We'll say that. Um, but
Okay.
here's hoping that you make it and you never drop your disguised self.
Oh yeah.
Oh, oh boy.
You might not be seeing Domino for a while. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna let you guys know that.
yeah,
Mhm.
not as himself. Yeah.
At least
Not.
not in Crossroads.
It's going to be a
Uh-huh.
very interesting dynamic when you're like fully integrated into the group,
Alright.
and like one person in particular is going to have it out for you for sure.
For sure.
But
Yeah.
Cali,
But
Not
you're
at
you
all.
might
gonna.
just be seeing some of his acquaintances for a while, though.
It's a new season.
Right. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm Nana. I'm Abuela. Rosa
You're gonna
Garcia.
It's gonna change every 10 minutes.
do it like
Every episode's just a different name. That'd be really funny. I'm gonna be honest.
every time every time there's a
Completely
fight,
separate
it's like a different
character.
person.
Mhm.
Like, where the fuck you come from? I'm helping you guys now. Don't worry.
Don't worry, I was
They
sending.
all have the same power. They all have like finger guns.
Mhm. That would be great, for sure.
Yeah. It just grows a little bit more and more suspicious each time.
Mhm. Hey, Jenga block. What? Why do you always have that domino? Shouldn't you have a Jenga block? No,
Oh, weird.
dominoes are important to me. Wink. Like, oh, okay, sure, yeah.
I like the
Uh,
idea that the entire group is not aware of it.
Part of the Domino clan, I must carry this around with me all the time. It's I don't know, it's a weird request.
Uh-huh.
yeah, just hinting at it over and over again, and we just never get it.
Depending on his stealth rolls and his deception checks, we might not get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have this domino and it grants me power. Domino and power.
Huh.
Hmm.
What could that be?
Where could that be? Yes, do you want to play dominoes with me? Dominoes.
Just don't touch this one.
Oh god.
Universe is gonna implode, man.
Oh yeah.
Onyx,
I don't know what that thing
let's play
is.
some feature real quick. Just for fun.
Yeah, sure. How do you play? You need
Oh, here's this
dominoes.
here's this shiny empty one. Yeah, it's
Yeah, too easy. So, Calikath,
You're the
Vincent,
Bastion.
you were stalking Astrid and Zatira at the beginning of episode 2.
This is true.
What was going through your mind when Astrid turned around and just yelled your name when you were in a bush?
Oh yeah.
So, unfortunately, on the way to that whole area,
Mhm.
there became less and less crowd, which I had expected,
Yeah, for sure.
but significantly less cover as well overall. I, honest to God, just thought about like diving into a bush rather than just coolly walking around. But
Uh-huh.
I thought that might arouse even more suspicion at the time. As soon
Yeah.
as Astrid turned around and shouted my name, I was like, "Oh well, I'll
Oh,
come back
well.
later."
I'll be back, guys.
But at the same time, I really thought I could get away with it.
Mhm.
Just a polite wave and then going about my business. That way, he just thinks I'm a normal dude walking around in the
Yeah.
trees.
Yeah.
It also made it even funnier that the guards just completely accepted your Onyx alibi and let you in.
Yeah, you stole my name.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to use my own
I get it,
because
for sure, but that's
I
gonna...
was thinking about like Well, what I was thinking about there is like, okay, what if he doesn't? What if he's like suspicious and he wants to check with the rest of the group first? He's gonna go up to you guys and be like, "Hey, there's a dude named Calicath out here."
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that's gonna shoot off some red flags. But if they walk in and he's like, "Yeah, there's a guy named Onyx that's asking to see you guys,"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know at least Astrid's gonna immediately be like, "Oh, heck yeah, dude, let that boy in."
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I
That's
don't think
totally him.
I don't think Onyx and Zatir have met, so you'd at
Yeah,
least get
no.
Astrid for sure.
Yeah, that was the point.
Uh-huh.
Astrid is the biggest and the loudest, so
Yeah.
he's usually gonna be the one that's gonna answer first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's
Ooh,
basically his mission to a certain point.
This is true.
apparently, Satira recognizes Domino, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, you're renowned in the criminal underworld. Like, I wasn't the only one in that room that recognized who you were by name.
Uh-huh. Ooh. Yeah, we got another criminal here. Wink, wink.
One with an even bigger rap sheet than Satira.
Yeah. Oh, we'd love to see it. We also love the fact that when Astrid did yell at you, Kalakath, uh, Zatir was like, "Hey, you shouldn't be attracting so much attention," and then proceeds to scream at the top of his lungs.
Yeah, he said that he didn't want to like have as much attention, and then immediately shouts out to Calicat, and I'm like, okay, I thought you said you didn't want to attract attention to yourself.
Hmm.
Mans is trying his best now.
Oh, for sure, and I love it. I'm all about it.
Yeah, he doesn't have many friendly faces. He gets really excited.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. A guard confronts you guys and starts fangirling about Astrid. I almost had a heart attack. I came in about 8 o'clock, right? And you guys were
Yeah.
fighting with the gold masks and stuff. And Sylv said, "Yeah, you guys, Zatira rolls a natural 20 and breaks the mask off of Authored." And I was like, "The Authored?"
Oh yeah, that's a previous like non-streamed D&D game joke that
Yeah,
a reference that
from
the
our
audience likely won't get.
oh, for sure. From our last big game, there was a villain named the Author, who is this Looney Tunes ass fey creature, and we love him, right? But
Yeah.
I had such a heart attack when he was like, "The Author's back."
Oh no.
No, that universe imploded. Not because of me. Wink.
Wink.
I
Yeah.
was
Okay. Yeah.
innocent in that. Wink.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah, and mentioning the gold masks, how is your first impression and your understanding of the gold masks, Calicath? Because this was your first exposure to them.
Mhm.
This is very true. After I noticed their zombie-like state, I kind of took them for a dunce.
Mhm.
So my I was that.
Oh yeah, and you tried to like trick them. Oh yeah, I
Well,
know where it is. I know where it is.
yeah. Well, it just about worked because my plan was
Uh-huh.
like, obviously he has the keys on him. Get him to come over to my door. He doesn't want us to don't want to touch him. Get him over to my door, unlock that, thunderclap it through a wall,
Mhm.
grab them keys, and open up everybody else, and we're good to go.
Yeah, too easy.
So I tried to intervene as quickly as possible
Uh-huh.
to make it happen.
We love
Unfortunately, he didn't last that long.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that one had a time limit,
Mhm. That
which was
guy's not okay.
I
yeah,
don't think
no.
half of them are.
Yeah,
I don't think
for
any
sure.
of them are okay after those masks disappear.
Mhm.
Astrid turned one of their ribs into dust. I'm certain of it.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Didn't he say non-lethal though? I guess that doesn't matter. It's like Batman
Yeah.
rules, right? Where it's like
Hmm.
you beat them within an inch of their
Non-lethal.
life, but it's still non-lethal.
Well,
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
the thing is, Zatira said non-lethal.
Oh yeah, yeah. With
I
a
s-
crossbow to the face.
Yeah, and managing to do it though, hitting the mask
Yeah,
itself,
No,
the concussive force alone.
it was good for sure. We
Yeah, I don't
love
know
to see
about.
it.
Yeah, I don't know about Astrid's use of it though.
Uh, Right. Now, some Looney Tune stuff also happens in episode 2 when you guys are trying to escape prison. Spoilers, Domino. But they get sent to prison for crimes they didn't commit. Then,
I was at that part.
okay. Then they fight some dudes in the prison. They try to escape through the sewers, and then in my head it was like the like that happening.
Oh yeah, Benny Hill music,
The Benny Hill
Benny Hill
music, yeah.
music playing.
As they start sliding down the sewer system at high velocity. and oh my goodness, it was so good. Vincent with the funniest joke of the campaign so far. I'd like to roll a deception check to reassure myself. That was so good. If I wasn't in a barracks washing room, I would have been laughing way harder.
Thought that was pretty funny myself.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yo, I'm
That's-
laughing just thinking about it. That sounds hilarious.
The
Oh,
because it was like right as soon as he goes over the cliffside, too.
Mhm.
But you gotta think about this poor man.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
dude covered in bandages, getting sent through, like schlonked through a sewer.
like salt water and
And
muck and
it's all
Yeah,
getting
oh.
tied up in the bandages and
Oh,
everything, and
yeah.
he's just doing his best to stay dry.
Uh-huh.
And then he comes across like a 50-foot drop into blackness.
Oh,
At least you could see Astrid was
Oh,
going
yeah.
through
Oh,
Oh
blind.
my god.
yeah.
I forgot about
nothing.
that.
Oh god.
The man saw darkness, and that was it.
Saw
That
death.
was. Oof.
And
Dog,
almost felt death too.
Oh yeah.
True.
We don't have a good track record with tentacle monsters. We're like the average
No, we don't.
average hentai protagonist.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
In the last campaign, my character Pinpin almost died via a tentacle monster. And from this point on, all tentacle monsters are bad. I don't
Oh,
care what
yeah.
happens or who
Yeah,
whoever
we
it
almost
says.
lost-
That's what
Yeah.
was a turning point for you.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
were close to losing. We were close to losing Astrid in that because he had
Uh-huh.
2 failures and 1 success. So the next one would make or break it. Fortunately, he made it like beside me, and I was able to stabilize him.
Yeah. If it weren't for the critical condition, Astrid would have died.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
he's
100%.
Hands down. If Astrid wasn't able to swim up to get air and swim out, he'd be dead.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
true.
Also, the introduction of the critical state mechanic.
Which I love. I'm
Also a pretty big fan of it.
I'm conflicted because Onyx is a careful, calculating guy. I'm not. I will
Yeah,
take
yeah.
I will take big explosion with the chance of killing myself every time. I'm just
That is gonna be
Oh,
frightening
yeah.
in the future.
especially when I get like to level 5 spells and level 3 spells.
Honestly, I think what it is, or what it will be, is it's Onyx most of the time. Critical state Onyx just becomes James.
Oh yeah.
Just
Oh, yeah,
standard, regular James.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
where the dangerous part begins.
Swinging wildly.
hmm And loving every reckless second.
Turning it into a DPS race.
Uh-huh. I'd like to cast Finger of Death. Oh no, I rolled a 4. I just do the, unalive gun to my head pose.
Well, you do the little finger bang, and a green beam shoots out, but it does like a straight U-turn back through your skull.
Yeah.
You hate to see it.
Bounces
Oh,
off
no.
a stray piece of extraordinarily shiny stone.
The boomerang of death.
Oh yeah. The
But yeah,
the
more on
fist
the
drop. What was
more
that
on the tentacle more on the tentacle monster fight. You revealed another new ability.
which was Mark 2 or 3 on the weird things Calicath did, by the way.
Yeah, I believe you described it as the bandages like unfurled around you, and then just darkness
Mm.
was all that we could see. And then the creature had to make wisdom saves, but we never heard for what exactly.
Yeah.
And the creature kind of just let you go.
Yeah, it was almost
Could you
like he was
describe?
stunned or afraid or something.
Yeah,
Uh,
could you tell us about that power as much as you are able to?
Yeah, as much as you feel comfortable with.
there are a few things that I can state. It is not long lived,
Hmm.
because as it was described, just moments after the power was unleashed, the bandages had forced them away back around Kalikath before he had even managed to make it to the surface.
Hmm. Hmm.
But it is a very, very powerful state. And I suppose I can tell you what the wisdom check was for. The monster was frightened.
Mm.
Yeah.
I kind of figured that. I have my own theorizations about Calicath, but I could see that.
At the
Also
same
very
time, the that state is I would consider it a serious mental toll, probably mental and emotional toll on Kalikath.
Hmm.
so you are also feeling some level of fear or dread.
Yes, but different from something not necessarily like, how do I put this?
Maybe more like ashamed or like disgusted with
Yeah,
yourself, right?
that'd definitely be a way to put it.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
Could you describe the reason why your character would feel such a way after using such a power?
I cannot, unfortunately, because there's a large chance that it will
Come up,
Right.
come up in the
Reveal
story.
too
yeah.
much. Yeah, reveal too much too soon. Understood.
That's totally fair. Um, moving on a little bit after the sewer fight, uh, you'll have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle moment. That's what I'm calling it. When Astrid, Astrid was like, "Here, let me tell you all about my clan and the key manipulation that we specialize in." And I'm like, come on, Justin, come on, Justin, not here, not now."
I mean,
On
we
the
did
sewers.
ask. We did ask.
Y'all did ask. It's just like it reminded me so much. Grayson's gonna get this, you two aren't. But it reminded me so much of when we were in the Feywild in the last campaign, and he's like, "Oh yes, Cervante comes from the land of the hills, and here's my entire backstory. Are you hearing?
Oh
Are
yeah,
you
yeah.
hearing me? Everybody within earshot, you know." And
So was that Justin last campaign?
that was Justin last campaign. Yeah,
Oh Jesus, that does sound like him though.
we
Yeah,
were
very
in
proudly stating, yeah.
a
Yeah, it
world.
does sound like what he did.
Yeah, yeah. We were in a world where if something knew your name, it would do bad things. I think,
The
yeah.
more it knew about you,
Oh,
the
I
more it could
remember
do. The more
this.
it knew about you, the more it could do to you.
No
And
way.
he
Oh, yeah,
chose
actually,
that time.
Matthew
God,
was there for
no.
that.
Yeah, and he chose that time to divulge so much backstory to us
How did he survive to the end?
Oh, we
through
love
sheer
him.
force of will.
We love that character, and we love Justin, and we wouldn't let Arthur turn him into a chair.
God.
Yeah, it was messed up for sure. I I don't
But
know how
yeah,
any of us
Chair.
survived.
but yeah, we in the sewer we specifically asked him about like how he was able to project those astral arms as part of his monk class.
Hmm. Yeah, that was the
And
first time y'all
that's
saw it.
yeah, and that's
Hmm.
when he had described how he was essentially like the basics of how he was able to do it.
Hmm. Right.
While we're on this topic, can we talk about how at the time of critical state, Astrid was so angry he was able to grip the water and
Oh yeah,
furiously crawl away
yeah,
like a
with the
gremlin?
yeah
Uh-huh.
with those astral arms, turning them into like a motorboat and just shooting across the water away from the monster.
Uh-huh.
Kalikath was like trying to stay near him in case the monster would attack again. He'd be able to try and get him free.
And then he was
No,
gone.
He was
he
gone.
vanished. By the time I'd reached the surface, he was already up there by Zatira.
Yeah, movement, double movement, triple movement.
I'd like to imagine that two of his hands were doing like the butterfly, and then the other two hands were doing like the breaststroke at the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
time,
yeah.
or like just the normal normal swimming stroke. Just
Every swimming style mixed to one.
exactly, and his legs just completely still as he ba 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 ba. You know.
Turned into like a David Hasselhoff from the SpongeBob movie.
Oh, for sure,
Oh,
yeah.
God. More arms.
But with way more arms. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Last time I saw that happen, I was being suplexed by them.
Oh no!
Man, you just won't let that go.
He didn't let go of me either, so
Oh
You
no,
know-
you
Oh,
did. You
God.
did let go. That was the problem. Was that you let go?
careful, he's not here to defend himself. I can say
Oh,
whatever I want.
it's not just about him. It's also about you. Don't you worry.
He can't defend himself, so I will spread my narrative.
I think the
Right,
most
right.
I think the most
I'm
terrifying
joking,
thing
of
about
course.
all of Justin's characters, if he is a strongman in any way,
Hmm.
do not get grappled by him.
Oh,
If
for
his
sure.
arms
Oh, yeah.
manage to wrap around you, one way or another, you will get suplexed.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
definitely
Either that or ripped in
grappling
half.
character.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
like, I feel like he's the type of player that would just continuously grab you in Mortal Kombat, just flip you.
Oh
far
yeah,
away.
constant
Can
grabs. Placing Street Fighter.
Yeah, he once grappled a Draco Lich in our last campaign.
That's true. He did.
Oh?
Yeah, I think he rolled like a 20, and the Draco Lich hit herself. Yeah, because there's herself with her own acid breath, and it ended up killing one of our friends.
And
Characters.
her.
And her, which was amazing. We love to see it.
Yeah, and he just tanked through it because of his orcness in that campaign.
Orc barbarianness, yeah. It was awesome. For sure. And
Very sick.
yeah, if I wasn't gonna play a wizard, actually no, because of his the way he played a barbarian, I wanted to play a barbarian in this game. I didn't
Oh?
because he died
He died
in the prequel.
Oh.
in the prequel, like all
Sad,
of
I
us
forgot
did.
your character died.
Yeah, I mean your character died too, so
Yeah, like
Oh.
all of us did.
yeah.
I mean, my character's still hanging out.
Well, yeah.
My character also died.
Really expensive.
Well,
And I came back, fortunately, through a sheer Hail Mary.
mhm.
My character's death was less death of real life and more like a spiritual death, I suppose.
Right.
He
Right.
definitely died. As a matter of fact, I'm shocked he didn't die sooner. The only reason he survived as long as he did, the situation we were put in, even the full power of, that like releasing the bandages state wasn't enough to keep him alive. It was due to the dungeon that we were in. Any light that had touched, or it was a pitch black dungeon. If light touched the walls, floors, whatever, they would become completely intangible. You would fall straight through them. So you had to move around in complete darkness. But the issue was the monsters got like advantage on everything in complete darkness. They were twice as powerful. All this good stuff.
That makes sense.
We had Justin's character, since he was so tall, carry an item that had the light spell attached to it, and it would illuminate the ceiling and the walls, but not the floor, so he'd be able to get across of this long hallway thing. His character managed to get away, but my character ended up being caught in that, or even while he's in that powerful state. And the only thing that managed to save me was I had a what are they called? Like a calligraphy pen, a fountain pen.
Fountain pen, yeah.
I had raised the fountain pen into the air and cast light on it. Barely any light, but it was just enough to dispel the monsters for a moment.
Oh, nice.
As we progressed onwards, though, I was disarmed by a grapple, and the pen hit the ground and sent me to my doom because I fell through the floor. To the back rooms I went.
You hate to
As a
see
matter of
it.
fact.
Yeah.
You hate to see it.
It
How
doesn't cover any.
my character died. Me and Astrid, we were both monk buddies.
Mhm.
We were sent on a mission. Mission didn't go well, and we were, long story short, supposed to meet this guy. And we were one screen away from meeting him. Like, we were just right there. But there was a
Mhm.
gap. There was a crevasse and a rickety vine bridge in between us and our needed destined location. And we both fell down. Um, and we fell into this crevasse with all of these in this canyon with all these knolls and stuff. And we ran for like 3 days straight until we accidentally got teleported to Antarctica. Um,
Oh God.
where
Oh,
8 giant vultures came down and started eating us. And there was another crevice, and one of the vultures grabbed me, flew me up above the crevice.
Oh.
Astrid jumped on it, trying to save me. We both went plummeting. Astrid grabbed me, put his pole arm into the wall with a natural 20, stopping us immediately. And I thought to myself, well, I also have a pole arm. I'm gonna try to make this more stable. I rolled a natural 1 to push us off, and we
Oh
both plummeted to our death.
no.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so I give him grief, but honestly, it was just the rules that
I
killed
was
us.
scared. I was a tough dude.
You know.
That's funny, man.
Yeah. But
Sounds to me like it was your fault.
oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, it totally was his fault.
It was the rule.
Unfortunately, it was totally
Unfortunate.
his fault.
Marco won't remember that because he wasn't alive after 6 seconds of that to realize what had happened.
Oh.
And also, Astrid landed on him, cushioning the fall. So
Yeah, that was the
know.
the out that the DM gave Astrid to like continue playing
mhm.
in the prequel. Like I also got an out, but like mine was
Oh, yours was like a
also,
statistical anomaly.
yeah, mine was also a bit of a miracle.
Yeah, you want to tell that
What?
story?
Yeah, so we were fighting a giant crab.
As you do.
Yeah, my character went down pretty quick, and after like continuous attempts to try and keep it stable because I was taking continuous damage in their claw, eventually we had lost. They couldn't keep me stable anymore, and my character was essentially pretty much dead. And after beating the monster, uh, there was an NPC cleric, a cleric player, and a roll that I had to make, like a charisma roll that I had to make, in order for my soul to be like brought back within that time span.
Yeah, his ghost was fading, like
Yeah,
basically
Damn.
out of his body.
I saw the other side. I saw a god,
hmm
uh, and they said something to me. Uh, but we the two clerics and I had to make d20 rolls,
hmm
and we all three got natural 20s
Yeah,
for those rolls. So
it was destiny.
yeah, a god was smiling upon Zatira that day as uh, we had seen.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. We did the math. It was statistically almost impossible for that to happen, and
Yeah.
it did in front of us. One of the
That is
players
insane.
one of the players made a natural 20. Sylph, the DM, made a natural 20, and Grayson made a natural 20.
What the hell?
Also, that crab
How is
was doing 30 damage a turn.
Oh yeah, that crab was insane.
We were level 2.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think it was like Syl said it was like level 5, but like toned down a little bit, but it's still like
Yeah,
killed.
and then also had minions.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
that was
that would make it
distracting.
or break it right there. The minions.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And like it killed two of us and hurt one of us like really badly. Like I think the character you were playing, James, like also just couldn't hurt it. Just couldn't touch it.
I did eventually kill it,
Yeah, yeah, but
but yeah,
like the
at-
last hit that you were able to do.
yeah. My character was a boxer, by trade, and so he was punching the thing, right? And every time he would
Yeah.
punch the crab in the leg, he would break a limb. And so he
Oh
broke his
god.
left arm, he broke his right arm, he broke his leg, he broke his other leg, and then he killed it with a headbutt.
How the fuck did you even manage to headbutt it, man?
It's with sheer force of will.
Sheer force of will. They were all screaming at me like, "Dude, just pick up a weapon!" I'm like, "No! I gotta save my
You don't-
friends!"
You don't understand. You play run starts
Yeah,
or
yeah.
what? You say run starts playing
Uh-huh.
as he's
Yeah.
furiously breaking his bones.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Classic Deku behavior. And
Yeah, yeah.
True.
and just I eventually killed it with a headbutt, and then I think it was Justin's character, his remains I put in a bucket, and
No, you had it in a net.
What?
in a
You had
net.
it in a net and had to drag it. back.
I dragged it back into town. The guards thought that I had killed this guy that I was dragging around in a net, who was a city guard, by the way, ex city guard, I guess,
Yeah.
and I got sent to jail.
Nancy.
Hate to see it.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
brutal, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But
It sucked.
I came up with a way better character after that for Grayson's prequel. Fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, who everyone loved. His name eludes me, but he was funny.
Yeah, yeah. The
You got this.
Weed wizard.
yeah wizard that was a high elf.
Yeah.
Tee.
It was funny. He was the guy who we
The
met.
highest elf.
The highest elf. He was the guy who we met on episode 1 who smelled like strawberries and was running away from
Yeah, yeah.
Astrid's room.
Yeah,
Before.
I definitely didn't get that at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You had missed that prequel.
Yeah. And then, coincidentally, after that guy who smelled like strawberries walked into Astrid's room, or walked out of Astrid's room, Astrid walked in, and it was in shambles. I'm not saying I did it.
Oh no, we know who did it.
We know who did it. But I don't think the viewers should know yet.
Nah, nah. I mean, if they had pieced together like the appearance of the gold masks and this mysterious break-in,
Mhm.
I imagine they'd piece it together.
Right.
If they aren't, well, I'm basically saying it right now.
Yeah, you just told them. You just told them.
Yep,
Good job.
it was the gold.
Nice.
It was the gold
Good
masks.
job, man.
By the way, it was the gold mask. In case you couldn't put it together.
Yeah, by the way.
No.
Mm-hmm.
What? They would never.
Never, ever.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to believe. They're so like they're very much upstanding citizens.
Yeah, honestly, they helped my grandma when she was in the hospital to pay her bills. So honestly, they're just really cool.
They gave me $1,000 that belonged to somebody else.
Yeah, the viewers don't know about that, do they?
Yeah, I'm carrying around Astrid's money.
Yeah, Zatira was the
you know
one who
what?
stole from Astrid.
They've been traveling together.
Yep.
Yep. That knife that Zatira bought that can cut through anything. It's technically
Yeah, I bought it with Astrid's money.
My God.
we love to see it. Oh, we love to see it.
Oh, poor Astrid, man.
Poor
yeah,
Astrid and
his,
his
he had a
tiny-
rough day that day.
He had a very rough day. His poor little tiny notebook with just a picture of a fountain in it, because everything else is broken in his house. We love it.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Astrid's no good, terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day.
That's what we should have named it. If we had any sense, that's
Yeah.
what we should have named it. Uh,
You know,
instead of
Speaking of,
whatever we did
oh,
name
go
it.
ahead. Oh, I
Oh,
was just gonna say, I keep Calicath has the mending cantrip,
mhm.
and I keep forgetting to fucking use it so much.
Yeah,
I
yeah, it's
keep forgetting to
very
use it.
useful.
I keep tying things up with bandages.
Uh-huh.
And it's only until after I put a very neat, very pretty bow on them that I'm like, I gotta just magically zoink this thing together. Why did I do this?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah,
It feels like a waste of my infinite bandages.
Mhm. A waste of your infinite bed? Sure, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that like skill of like Zatira may bother you to use it again on that lamp helmet that she found.
Mhm.
Oh man, this is funny.
Oh, it's really good. That was really good, but we're at 50 minutes now. This is the part of
Yeah.
the show where I have to admit that we have a sponsorship.
Do you
And
now? Do you?
yeah,
Yeah, do you?
the
Oh, do
sponsor
you?
and Grace, I
Uh-huh.
have to read the sponsored ad. Okay,
Right. Uh-huh.
we don't get paid unless I read the sponsored ad.
We don't get paid, period.
Not yet. If we do this sponsored ad, we might.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Pray tell, Mr. James, what company gave you this ad? This
Oh,
sponsor?
well,
It's a very legitimate AAA company.
I'm glad you asked, uh, Vincent, because it's really simple, really. Uh, the name of the company who gave
Mm-hmm.
me this awesome deal
Yes.
Uh-huh.
is Lowest
Mm.
Common Demon on YouTube.
And that's all the
Woo!
time we have
Give
for
it
the
up!
day,
We still have
folks.
6 minutes. We still have
Thank
six,
you for
5
joining us all on the
minutes.
Reception Talk podcast.
Woo!
Be sure to check out the previously uploaded videos on the Mr. Rose channel, as on both YouTube and Twitch.tv to see both the live stream D&D sessions as well as the VODs. Then watch
Do that. It's
the
only an action.
first episode of the Reception Talk podcast to have some of your other questions answered if you didn't have them already
Yeah,
answered.
and that's Mr. Dot Rose on YouTube, and Mr. underscore Sylvester underscore Rose on Twitch.
Get your facts straight, Satira.
Yeah,
Yes, of course.
no,
That's
I'm
why
just
I have
helping
my
him.
co-host here. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I have my
Kidding.
co-host here to keep me straight.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know he's the straight arrow here.
yeah. I totally didn't.
Surely.
Make up a bit
Mhm.
about us being subscribed. I mean, us being sponsored or anything by an incredible channel. And when I was stalling, that wasn't me. Texting, putting up text on OBS
Right.
that spelled out my own name.
I see.
Lowest Common Demon.
Well,
Oh.
I've been Grayson playing Satira Morn as your host.
I've been
Now
James playing
co-host.
Onyx, also co-host. And
Oh, I've been Cameron playing Calicath. I'm just a guest.
mhm.
And Domino Laverna, who I think is
Matthew.
yeah, he's not speaking at the moment, so I'm assuming he's unavailable. He's not muted right now.
Hello. Oh, there we
There
go.
he is. There he
Hey, I'm Matthew. Rolling Domino. Mic
Yeah.
didn't work for some reason.
Mm.
That's okay.
Thank you both for joining us today as our guests for the Reception Talk podcast. And I hope to see you all again in the next episode.
Yeah, ta-ta.
Goodbye.
Have a good one.